Be me. Office drone with a functioning brain and a long tolerance for bad management. New boss starts Monday. Everyone already gossiping like it's a sport. First thing everyone learns, she didn't climb the ladder. She inherited the whole damn ladder. Second thing everyone learns, it doesn't matter. She walks into the office, straight posture, perfect suit, eyes that don't ask for permission. People straighten up on instinct like they heard a dog whistle. Someone whispers, "That's the new boss." Yeah, no kidding. Her last name is on the building. She didn't choose this job. It got handed to her with expectations, pressure, and a company full of people waiting for her to fail. So she does the only thing that actually works in corporate hell. She's strict. Meetings are short. Instructions are clear. Mistakes are not tolerated. No yelling, no drama, just control. Everyone's terrified. I'm not. Not because I'm brave. Because I've worked under worse. I do my job. I do it well. I don't try to impress her. Third meeting. She asks a question. I answer directly. She nods once, moves on. That's it, but after that. Catch her watching me sometimes, evaluating. She never smiles at work, not once. Efficient, professional. People call her cold. I don't think she's cold. I think she's tired. 2 months have passed, it's the weekend, late hours. Brain feels like stale coffee. Grab jacket, head out. Turn left instead of right. Habit. I haven't broken since they closed my usual street. Tiny mistake. 10 minutes later. Flickering streetlight. Hear a voice. Familiar, too familiar. Laughing, slurring a little. Oh no, look over. It's her, my boss, leaning on a wall, heels in her hand, hair loose, eyes glassy. First thought isn't romance, it's panic. Oh no, that's my boss. Second thought is crystal clear. I need to get out of here, now. I stop walking. First mistake. Turn my head. Second mistake. Now, there's no denying it. She's sitting on a low stone wall near the park entrance. One heel dangling from her fingers. Other foot bare on the pavement like she lost a fight with gravity. Hair that's always perfect at work, loose and in her face. Laughing at something on her phone. Then she sighs dramatically. I take one step back. Nope, none of my business. Turn around. Hey! Freeze mid-step, slowly turn back. She's squinting at me, trying to focus. Oh, hey, she says, suddenly bright. Wow, you look familiar. Heart drops into my shoes, force polite smile. Sorry, I think you've got the wrong... School, she interrupts. We went to school together. I knew it. We did not. But arguing with a drunk boss at midnight feels like speed-running unemployment. Right, I say carefully. School. She smiles. See, I'm not crazy. Debatable. She pats the spot next to her. Sit, she says. You look like someone who won't lie to me. Look around. Empty street. I sit. She hits me with it immediately. Everyone hates me. No warm-up, no small talk. Blink. That's a strong opening. She snorts. They're scared, she corrects. Which is worse. Fear looks like respect, but it isn't. I don't answer. I just listen. They look at me like I'm about to fire them, she keeps going. All the time. I inherited a company and suddenly I'm a villain in a pencil skirt. Internally, yes, that is exactly the vibe you give off. Externally, silence. She leans back, stares at the sky. I didn't ask for this, she mutters. I just didn't want to fail. That actually surprises me. At work, she sounds like she was born with a gavel, clear throat. You're doing fine, I say. She turns, eyes narrowed like she's running a lie detector. You don't sound like you're lying. I'm not. She studies my face, then the smallest soft smile. God, you're easy to talk to. Panic returns, because now she's comfortable. Glancey at her unbuttoned blouse, revealing a generously sized bust. Notice a couple people across the street starting to notice. I stand. Okay, I say gently. You've had enough for tonight. She pouts. You sound bossy. Almost laugh. Trust me, I say, offering my hand. I'm really not. She takes it. I help her up. She stumbles. Her blouse shifts. Too much skin. Way too much attention. Brain goes into emergency mode. Step in front of her. Adjust blouse. Block the view. She blinks up at me. Oh, she murmurs. You're polite. Something like that, I say, heart pounding. Not attraction. Where do you live? I ask. Head tilt. You're not kidnapping me, are you? Sigh. If I were, I'd be doing a terrible job. She laughs, gives me her address. I memorize it because I can already tell. This night isn't ending cleanly, and somehow I know I'm not leaving her here. Even though every instinct I have is screaming, "Go home, you idiot." Drive her home. She talks the entire way. City slides past the windows, one hand on the wheel, other hand ready in case she decides gravity is optional. I wasn't supposed to drink, she says for the third time, but everyone kept looking at me like I was made of glass. I nod. Glass breaks if you stare too hard. She smiles. She leans her head back. You know what's funny? No one ever asks if I'm okay. Keep eyes on the road. Are you? She thinks. I don't know, she admits. But it helps that you asked. Red light. She looks at me more closely. You're not afraid of me, she says. Glance over. You're not scary. Soft laugh. Everyone else thinks I am. They don't know you, I say. She goes quiet. Few minutes later. She sighs again. I hate that I have to be perfect. If I make one mistake, it's not just a mistake. It's proof. Proof of what? That I don't belong here. Tighten grip on the wheel. That's not how it works, I say. She looks surprised. You're very sure. I am, I reply. And they'll catch up. Pull up to her building. She doesn't move right away. Hands folded. Thank you, she says quietly. For the ride? For not treating me like a disaster. Meet her gaze. You're not. Small, real smile. Walk her to the door. She fumbles with keys, turns back. You know, she says, I don't remember you from school. Keep face neutral like my life depends on it. That's okay. She shrugs. I'm bad with faces. Almost laugh. She opens the door, looks at me like she's trying to remember the feeling of being safe. You're a good guy, she says. I can tell. I nod. Get some rest. She hesitates, pats my arm awkwardly. Don't disappear, she says. Faint smile. I won't. Doctor closes. I lean against the wall and exhale. That went better than it had any right to. She trusted me, not because I'm special, because I listened. Walk back to my car thinking one thing. Tomorrow, she'll be my boss again. Cold, strict, and she won't remember any of this. But I will. Next day, she's back in full armor, perfect suit. Hair pulled back, expression unreadable, no trace of streetlight laughter. If I didn't know better, I'd think I hallucinated the whole thing. Walk past her office. Good morning, she says coolly. Morning, I reply. Eyes meet for half a second. Nothing. No recognition. No pause. She doesn't remember. Team meeting. She's sharp, efficient, corrects someone's numbers, asks precise questions, takes notes without looking up. Then she glances at me. You, she says. Can you handle the client report by Friday? Yes, I answer immediately. One nod. Good. That's it. Lunch. Coworker leans in. You okay? You look tired. Long night, I say. Afternoon. Boss walks past my desk. Stops. Heart jumps like an idiot. She points at a document. Can you revise this section? Of course. She hesitates, barely, then frowns slightly. Have we met before? Keep face neutral. Only here, I say. She studies me longer than necessary. Right, she says slowly. Must be the stress. Walks away. Later in the hallway, hear her on the phone. Yes, I'm fine. No, I don't need help. I can handle it. Same armor, same distance, end of day, exhausted, weekend. City decides to keep laughing at me. Saturday evening, cut through the park on the way home. Same route as last time, because apparently I don't learn. Hear laughter. Stop. Slowly look over. There she is, my boss. Again, slightly drunk this time, sitting on a swing like she forgot she's an adult, pushing herself back and forth in heels, hair down, coat open. Consider turning around. Again, don't. She spots me first. Face lights up. Hey, she calls. School guy. Hey, I say. You're energetic. That's what happens when you don't have meetings, she says cheerfully. Kicks her legs higher. And then the universe delivers slapstick. The shoe comes off. Perfect arc. Right toward my face. Thump, stumble back, hand to forehead. Silence. Then, oh my God, she gasps, jumps off the swing, runs over, Lower my hand. She freezes, stares. Wow, she says carefully. You're bleeding? I'll live, I say. She bites her lip. That's really my fault. Yes, I agree. Very much so. She winces. She grabs my arm, drags me to a bench. Sit, sit, she orders. I did not almost commit assault with footwear for nothing. I sit. She rummages through her bag, hands shaking slightly. You're calm, she says. I'm consistent, I reply. She laughs despite herself. I like that. She dabs my forehead with a tissue, too gently, too close. You know, she says thoughtfully, you remind me of someone I know. I tense. Yeah? She hums. Someone from work. Heart does a little backflip. Then she shakes her head. No, he's much more stiff. Almost smile. She steps back embarrassed. I swear I'm not always a walking hazard. I believe you, I say. Statistically. She laughs. We walk for a bit. She talks about the company without naming it, complains about responsibility, expectations, never being allowed to mess up. I listen, again. When we part ways, she looks at me seriously. Thank you, she says, for not making me feel ridiculous. Touch my forehead. Oh, you absolutely did, I reply. But I survived. She smiles. See, she says, you're dependable. Watch her walk away, heelless on one foot. Get home. Bruise starts blooming. Purple. Obvious. Stare at it in the mirror. And I laugh. Because somehow, I now have a physical reminder of a woman who doesn't know she's my boss and trusts me more than anyone else. Starting to realize this isn't coincidence anymore. It's a pattern. Third time it happens. Weekday. Leave work later than usual. Take a different route on purpose. Still run into her while she was drunk. Of course. She's outside a small cafe, arguing with the door. It's closed, she mutters. Rude. Clear my throat. She turns, smiles immediately. Like I just spawned where she wanted me. There you are, she says, like she's been expecting me. That should worry me. It doesn't. Somehow, we end up on a bench nearby, with takeaway cups, that she somehow convinced the barista to sell her 5 minutes after closing. She talks. I listen. At work, she says, staring into her coffee. I feel like I'm playing a role. Which one? I ask. The one where I'm not allowed to mess up, she replies. The one where everyone waits for me to fail quietly. Nod. Yeah, that checks out. And here, I ask. She glances at me. Here I'm just me. Next week, it happens again. Different place, same timing, same feeling like the city is setting up a recurring joke. She laughs when she sees me. You're terrible at disappearing, she says. So are you, I reply. At work she's still untouchable. Strict emails, short meetings. But now, sometimes she hesitates before speaking to me, like she's about to say something else, then stops. Like she remembers there are rules and she hates them. Tuesday. It starts with the bruise. What's left of it anyway? We're in a meeting. She's mid-sentence, then stops, and stares at my forehead. Did you hit your head? She asks. Room goes quiet. Everyone's suddenly very interested in my skull. Yes, I reply calmly. Park incident. Her eyes narrow. Just a little. Like she's lining up puzzle pieces. Meeting ends. She doesn't go back to her office. Instead, she follows me down the hallway. Walk with me, she says. Not a request. I comply. We stop near an empty conference room. Fluorescent lights, corporate purgatory. Perfect place for a life-altering conversation. She folds her arms, studies me. You, she says slowly, sound exactly like him. I don't ask who, because I already know. You talk the same, she continues. Same pauses, same calm tone. Keep face neutral. That's not unique. She shakes her head. And you listen the same way, she adds, like you're not waiting to speak. She exhales sharply. The park, she says. The cafe. The street. Voice drops. That was you. Silence. Long. I nod once. Yes. She stares at me. Shock. Embarrassment. Then something like fear. You knew it was me, she whispers. Yes. And you didn't say anything. No. She looks away. I told you things, she says. Things I don't tell anyone. I know. Her jaw tightens. Why didn't you stop me? Answer honestly. You needed to talk, I say, and you trusted me. She swallows. I was drunk. You were honest, I reply. There's a difference. She laughs suddenly. I complained about my job, to my employee. Yes? And cried about being lonely. Yes. She covers her face. I'm never recovering from this. I almost smile. She drops her hands, looks at me again. You could have used that, she says quietly. You didn't. I wasn't there as your boss or your employee, I reply. I was there as a person. She nods slowly, then, like she's pulling a memory out of fog. You closed my blouse. Blink. You remember that? Yes, she says. I didn't remember who you were, but I remembered that. Voice softens. You protected me? Silence again. She straightens. Professional mask sliding back into place like magnetic armor. So, she says, this complicates things. Yes, I agree. She hesitates. Are you angry? Shake head. No. Judging me? No. Regretting it? Meet her eyes. No. She lets out a breath. I don't know what to do with this, she admits. Shrug. We don't have to decide anything right now? She studies me. You're really not afraid of me. No, I say. But I respect you. That makes her smile. Good, she says, because I think I'm starting to feel something dangerous. Raise an eyebrow. What's that? Relief. She turns to leave, stops. Tonight, she says quietly. Can we talk? Not as boss and employee. I nod. Yes. Watch her walk away. Secret is gone. Now it's just the truth. Meet after work, not near the office. Not near anything that belongs to her job. Neutral ground, quiet bar, dim lights. She arrives without the armor. Thank you for coming, she says, sitting across from me. Of course. She studies her glass. I keep replaying it, she admits. Everything I said, everything you saw. You were human, I reply. That happens. She smiles faintly. I don't let that happen. Maybe you should. She looks up. I don't like that people are afraid of me, she says quietly. But I don't know how to lead without control. I nod. You don't have to be soft to be fair. She considers that, like it's a new language. And you? She asks. Why didn't you run? Chuckle. I tried. She tilts her head. That's not an answer. I stayed, I say honestly, because you needed someone who wasn't impressed or intimidated. She exhales. That's exactly it. She laughs suddenly. Do you know how humiliating it is, she says, to realize the one person who saw me fall apart works for me? I don't, I reply. But I know how brave it is to admit that. She blinks. You're very calm about all this, she says. I'm calm because I'm choosing, I reply. She goes quiet, then nods. We talk for hours, work, expectations. At one point, she says softly, I don't want to be your boss tonight. Meet her gaze. Then don't be. She smiles. We leave. Night is cool. Outside her building, she hesitates. This is where I ask the dangerous question, she says, raise an eyebrow. Which is? Would you come up, she asks, just to talk? Consider it, then nod. Yes. Inside her apartment, neat but lived in, she takes off her shoes, exhales deeply. You make this easier, she says. I look at her. Good, I reply. That means we're doing it right. She steps closer. Stay, she says. I do. We sit on the couch. She leans her head on my shoulder. And in that quiet moment, I know. Tonight isn't about crossing lines. It's about putting them down. Nothing about it feels rushed. That's what surprises me most. She doesn't drag me anywhere, doesn't pretend it's casual, just looks at me and says, I want this to be a choice, not a mistake. Nod. It is. That's all the agreement we need. Kiss happens naturally. She rests her forehead against mine. You're very steady, she murmurs. I try to be, I reply. She smiles. That's why I trust you. Later, the world gets quiet. City hums outside the window. Just adults choosing closeness. At some point, she laughs softly. This is ridiculous, she says. What is? I spent months making everyone afraid of me, she replies. And the one person I feel safe with works for me. Smile. Maybe fear was never the goal. She considers it. Maybe. We fall asleep. She curls closer without thinking. Morning comes quietly. She wakes first. I feel her shift, then hesitate. "You're still here," she says softly. "Yes," she exhales. "Good." Kitchen, coffee, no awkwardness. "This complicates things," she says eventually. "Yes," I agree. She looks at me. "But you don't regret it." "No," she smiles. "Neither do I." As I leave, she touches my arm. "Thank you," she says, "for seeing me." Meet her gaze. Anytime. Walking home, realize something important. Last night wasn't a line crossed. It was a line chosen. 3 months later, we're in her apartment again. Paperwork spread across the table. Work things. She's quieter than usual. Finally, she pushes the papers aside. "I went to the doctor," she says. I look at her. "Okay." She studies my face like she's checking for cracks. "I'm pregnant." I don't speak right away. Then I nod. "All right," I say. "That's it." Her shoulders drop instantly, like she was holding up the ceiling with them. "Just all right?" she asks. "Yes," I reply calmly. "Are you okay?" She blinks. "You're asking me that?" "Yes." She sits back, stunned. "I thought you'd need time," she admits. "Or space. Or—" shake head. "This happened because we chose each other," I say. "I'm not going anywhere." She covers her face, laughs softly. "I scared everyone at work for months," she says. "And now I'm terrified." I smile. "That's called balance." She looks at me, eyes wet. "You're not afraid of this." "I'm aware of it," I reply. There's a difference. That makes her laugh again. At work, nothing changes, and everything does. She's still the boss, still sharp, still respected, still the woman whose name is basically a corporate landmark. But now. Sometimes she pauses at my desk, just to ask how my day is going. One afternoon, she rests a hand on her stomach absent-mindedly, then freezes, like she realized what her body just admitted. "Did you see that?" she asks. I smile. "Yes." Her eyes soften. "No one's ever looked at me like this," she admits. "Like what?" I ask. "Like I don't have to prove anything." Meet her gaze. "You never did." Weeks pass, city keeps moving, company keeps running. World doesn't pause for anyone's feelings. One evening we sit on a bench, same park where this started, the origin point of my poor decisions. She laughs suddenly. "You know," she says, "I thought being drunk that night was the worst mistake of my life." I chuckle. "Wrong turn," I say. She nods. "Right person." She leans against me, not the boss, not the woman everyone fears, just her. And I realize something simple and solid. I didn't fall for my boss. I fell for the woman who didn't recognize me, trusted me anyway, and let me see her before the world demanded armor.